My friends, today I want to talk to you about the new approach to map design that Wargaming has shown recently. I will demonstrate it with the new big Ensk that just made it into the game. And at the end of this video, I will show you massive changes that might be coming to Erlenberg. For me, these map changes feel like the first seeds of hope that Wargaming is listening to the community and shifting away from old corridor map design. Personally, I just hate cupola sniping, and sadly way too many current maps force you into that kind of gameplay. But as I will show you in this video, Wargaming actually has the balls and the skills to shake things up. Ensk went from being a map that is mostly suiting heavy tanks to something that is fun and playable among different classes while keeping it balanced. I think they really cooked an amazing map here, so let's jump straight into it. The first thing I want to point out is just how big the map is. With the new changes, we have much more space to maneuver, and new Ensk feels gigantic. Good job, Wargaming. Let's focus on the game situation here, just for a second. It's clear that the field is going to fall. Enemy has overwhelming numbers and we have to retreat. But what if instead of giving away map control, I will use this newly created space to my advantage? You see, when I was spotted last time, I showed enemies that I was running. So there is kind of no point for the enemies to check this part of the map. So what I think is going to happen is that enemy team will either continue pushing towards our base and completely ignore the corner of the map, or they come back to defend the base. And here you can see how I wasn't familiar with the terrain and the bushes, so it took me a second to actually find a decent bush. And I wanted to spot the enemies to give my DPV information, how many of them will be coming, as well as understand myself what we are dealing with. And you can't believe what happened. Object 268 was like 54 meters away from me, didn't spot and just yeeted towards our base. I wasn't sure if I can open fire because they had Grille and Joch on the hill, but with them getting spotted in the city, I now knew that I can just go and push this object. And guys, this is by far my favorite change on Ensk. By expanding the map outwards a couple hundred meters, but keeping the core of the map more or less the same, it creates this kind of dead space that you wouldn't be using at the beginning of the battle, but it creates an amazing strategic opportunities for a later game. And I think by far, Big Ensk is the best map for endgame whenever you're playing fast tanks. To demonstrate this, I will be using Manticore as an example. And playing light tanks on Big Ensk, I love to take aggressive control over this charge on the massive hill. My goal here would be to play slowly, find positions of enemy light tanks and try to kill them. But since these games were recorded on the test server, people don't care that much, as EBR in our team, and he just went crazy, spotting everyone that was playing on the field. And here I was thinking that the game is practically over. We have all the information, now we just have to wait for the heavies and then we push, kill the field and go into the city to get remaining damage. But it was developing completely in different scenario. And I think the reason behind this is hard cover and vegetation around it in the position where we have Force 155 and T110 E3. Now add to this same position that I was using with the budget, where you can play all the way at the edge of the map, and you get yourself a situation where you can hardly push into the field. And I think it's good because it slows the game down and allows you to fight off overwhelming number of enemies. Guys, like I'm recording this and I'm just bursting with excitement. I am so tired of tunnel maps where once you lose key position, there is no way to defend, and enemy getting progressively more and more map control. But look at this situation. We are down on tanks, down on HP, we are losing. But I feel like if played correctly, we can turn even these kind of games around. But why do you think I say this? Try to figure it out yourself and answer the question. What changed about the map that allows us to prolong already lost games? Feel free to jump into discussion in the comments and I will pin the first right answer. At the moment, we have to keep on interrupting the cap to prolong the game. Let's see how far we can take it. Notice that it didn't take enemies too long to realize they probably won't be able to cap. They decided to push forward. In the situations when you are getting surrounded, the best you can do is to break through one of the flanks. Right now, my goal is to get some space to maneuver. And this is exactly why I decided to push T123. I did not expect T103 to be this close, and because of that, we've lost 1000 HP. And now we have the whole map to maneuver. But I don't want to run just yet. While the enemies are busy trying to kill 113, I want to make them bleed as much for that as possible. A very important moment here. I know that EBR is trying to chase me. That's why I'm going to sit in the bush and kill him unspotted. If you have been using iyouxin spotting calculator, you already know how it works. But for everyone new, allow me to explain. You are able to kill tanks in close range completely unspotted. For that to work, you have to remain undetected at the moment of firing. And enemy has to be one shot and the only tank that can spot you. Right now, I'm hesitant to shoot because E3 would spot me otherwise. But also this E50 is playing so well, not giving me an easy shot. And unfortunately, he get way too close and proxy spotted me. If you are interested in how this unspotted kill range works exactly, our community figured out the formula for unspotted kill range. It's shell velocity divided by 6 minus 5. In case of Manticore, we have 1375 meters shell velocity, which results in 224 meters unspotted kill range. If you did not know about this and learn something new, give this video a like. I'm always happy to share my tips and tricks with you guys. And in our next game, I decided to play with the Bacha 25T and play around the middle of the map. And I'm going to demonstrate how easy it is to get surrounded by playing in the middle and demonstrate the importance of having the outskirts of the map under your control. So I decided to use the speed and camouflage of the Bacha to get literally in the middle of the map and get a clip or two at the enemy's crossings and then rotate to where the help is necessary. But first, I want to lead your attention to the minimap. Notice how most of our tanks are concentrated in the center of the map, having flanks open. I didn't pay much attention to it, but it is going to play a crucial role. For now, I decided to use newly renovated tracks and get closer to the heavy tanks to do damage, because it felt like we are just going to overwhelm heavies in the city. Pay attention at this newly added position that enemy Type 71 is using right now. Despite fighting overwhelming number of tanks, he's winning so much time for the team, and we have to commit quite a lot in order to be able to do damage. I feel like if he would have just a little bit of cover, we would lose great amount of HP here. Notice how it's only 3 tanks left in the city. And just pay attention how much of the HP our team is going to use to kill them. This is possible because of the different angles, crossfires, and the complex map design. Enemies are able to fall back what seems like indefinitely, winning time for faster tanks that were fighting for the field to come back for their rescue. At the beginning of the battle, our team sent superior number of tanks to overwhelm the city, and it is of no surprise that we managed to break through it. But enemy team decided to play map control instead, and we can clearly see that that tactic is simply better. Our teammates that committed to kill Object 279 were getting farmed from everywhere, and something that looked like a close fight just 2 minutes ago turned out in a situation that you just can't flip around. But not wanting to give up, my idea here was to get unspotted and use the low ground on the edge of the map to sneak behind the enemies and go back towards my base. Unfortunately, EVR105 found me, but just pay attention at this low ground here. You are able to defend losing city from similar positions on both sides by playing cooldown, creating space, and just totally new angles that weren't available on the old Ensk. After the game with the budget 25T, I learned the importance of field control. For now, I think it's far more valuable than the city. You have a lot of vegetation, space to maneuver, as well as the ability to decap the base. But I think the more we're gonna be playing this map, the more we're going to understand it, learn positions, and get used to certain scenarios. I feel like the more we're gonna play the map, the more we're going to understand it. But one thing is for certain, the map is very complicated. In majority of the maps present in the game, there are clearly defined choke points where you cannot go past those. But if you just give a glimpse on the minimap right now, you can notice that Super Conqueror and E100 are flanking remaining our allies basically from our base. This is possible because of the numerous ways you can approach the city and play within. With the map getting bigger, there is much more space to maneuver, and even having 15 tanks in the battle, you can't cover all of the angles. And personally, I love it. I want to see more maps like this. Every battle I played on being Ensk felt somehow different. Let's take this one as an example. We successfully break through the flank, losing just a couple of teammates, and now we have a whole bunch of heavy tanks left in the city. What do we do with it? I have no idea. I don't want to push towards them. I don't want to fight heavies. I want to play on the distance. Our team decided to cap. Guys, how do you think that is going to end? It's interesting that Wargaming decided to keep the bases in original spot on a smaller Ensk. And so they're kind of in the middle of the map, which is quite unusual. And my favorite part about it is that you can go around the cap. Even if the enemies are capping the base, you can flank them, probably even get unspotted and peek from the area that they didn't see coming, like our IMX-13-105 right now. And this is what I was talking about last time I was here trying to defend my base with the Manticore. I think Big Ensk might become the best map in World of Tanks. Because first, you cannot cap safely. Second, fast tanks are going to have huge advantage in endgame because of the endless flanking opportunities. As long as you keep the distance and don't engage heavy tanks head on, they will have very little chance to win. I cannot wait to play this map on the live server. I want to thank Wargaming team for giving me access to a special press account. During common test, I had an option to pick a map I wanted to play on. It made it so much easier to record content on changed maps. And I wanted to share with you guys what new Erlenberg might look like. These changes aren't final, but just looking at it, it makes me want to play Erlenberg. One of my earliest memories about World of Tanks will always be me running around with the BT-7 and M5A1 Stewart. All I wanted to do is to play a fast tank and just actively scout for my team. At the time, I had no idea what I was doing, but that was the most fun. And with such changes to maps, I wish to experience it once again. My inner Marco Polo wants to discover, and looking at possible changes to Erlenberg, I might experience it once again. I have high hopes for the future of World of Tanks map development, and I hope Wargaming will keep up in this direction. My friends, please let me know what you think about the way that Wargaming started changing maps recently, because I would love to hear what you have to say. I hope at the end of this video you are just as excited about the new changes as myself. My goal is to produce positive quality content, and if this is something that you like, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching and have a splendid day. Yeah, I learned this word recently and now I just want to show off my skills. Ciao ciao.